Hello, good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you might be joining us from. Welcome to Itchy Painty, the miniature painting live stream program by Resident Evil fans for a Resident Evil fan. And today's Resident Evil fan is Cruise Ship Choji. Choji, good morning. My name is Michael, aka It's Burger Time. And joining me, as always, is my constant companion and coolest person I know, James, aka Moist Owlet,
At,
aka.
at least for the next 2 hours, anyway.
Damn, I mean it's pretty consistent. I was hanging out with friends yesterday, and you know who we talked about the most?
Don't know.
It was you. I was hanging out with Matthew Stanford.
Really?
Yeah, we talked about you.
Oh, how is Matthew?
Matthew's doing well.
Oh, good.
Um,
Such a kind man.
he really is. Also, kind of a piece of shit.
I mean, it's like a double-edged sword, but it's a sword of loveliness,
Yeah, he is wonderful. I love Matthew very much.
Sorry for crunching sounds. Oh, it sounded like Goofy there. Did you hear that? I went full Goofy just to get my paints.
Yuck.
Yuck.
So James is pretty cool. So we are painting this goodest boy, the Great Jagras, for fans from Steamforge Games, Monster Hunter World. World. This game
Premiere.
is the first. It is right. Is the first Monster Hunter game I ever played. So I was happy to play test the board game with James, my dear friend here.
Yeah, same actually. We had the similar experience because I knew next to nothing about Monster Hunter because I wasn't. Other than the N64, I wasn't super into Nintendo until the Switch came out, really, and the Wii as well. But yeah,
I mean, well, Monster Hunter started off as a PlayStation 2 game.
Did it really?
Yeah, first one was on PlayStation.
Holy shit! And did Nintendo just buy the rights, or
no? They just
decided Nintendo's better.
no. Like, don't get it twisted. There were a lot of Monster Hunter games on the PlayStation Portable.
Okay.
Okay, that's most Monster Hunter games I think are on the PlayStation Portable initially.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and then up until Worlds, it was a Wii and a. I know that there were at least one or two on the Wii U, and a few on the DS. Like I think it was pretty well parsed across platforms. Sorry, I had to move some stuff around.
I always thought that. I don't know why. Maybe I was just like out of the loop at that point, but I always thought that Monster Hunter was just like a Nintendo exclusive title.
No,
I don't know why I thought that.
I'm gonna Google it while we're looking at this and check. But I even think that the first two Monster Hunters were on PlayStation 2.
I believe you, because I mean, the last time do you know what my problem is?
Yeah.
Do you know what my problem is? Is that like I basically around 2004. When did Xbox 360 come out? Was it 2003?
I think so. Yeah.
No,
it was around that time. It was like 2005. 2006.
Okay.
No, you know what? I think it was 2008.
No, that's way too late.
Xbox
no, it can't be. It can't be. It can't be 2008 because I was not working.
It was 2005. You're right. I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh, you were right. You said it first. But yeah, because it was around that time where I got the 360, and then I just like no-lifed Halo. And then after that, so it was like a couple years after that, I got my first PC. Like that was mine from my paper round check. And from then on, I've just been building PCs. Right. So like I never really got a console. So yeah.
Hey Sherry.
I think that's probably why like I feel I throw myself out the loop so much with stuff. Hey Sherry.
So this is gonna be a fun model. It's mostly yellow, with some green tones to it. So the colors I'm gonna be utilizing today are in multitudes. I'm going to be doing, starting off with this base of Dark Sun Yellow. I'll be highlighting that with a a yellow flame, so I'll be highlighting the yellow with that. There's also a turquoise for its underbelly, which I'll be utilizing Surfer Orc Flesh for. Um, and I'll be doing some other like fun highlight stuff. This monster is fairly easy to fight. I don't remember what color the spines are. I'll have to look up a reference photo. I looked up one the other day, but that was the other day, and it was a long time ago at this point. But let's.
I think the spines are orange.
I think you're right. Let me take a look. I'm gonna look up a reference photo while we're doing this.
Because I remember it, basically every time I think of Jagras, I think it's like a fire, like it's like a fire, but as a creature, but not like it's just got fiery colors. I'm so sorry, by the way, I didn't turn my camera on when I logged out and I'm back in again. So my camera isn't on.
Look at this guy not having his camera on. It's okay. We don't see it anyway because I'm a failure this time.
No, that's my fault because I had a problem with my mic. Well, actually, do you know what? It was a Discord problem because I tested it on Audacity and it was completely fine. And then Discord was being a little butt about it, right? And then I logged back out and back in again. And it was fixed. Fuck you, Discord.
Oh, he has a green stripe.
Green
on the side.
Oh, the broad, the thing that separates the yellow from the orange.
No, it's just straight down the middle of his sides.
Let's have a look. Oh, yeah. You know what? There aren't many great pictures of a great Jagras.
No, there is not many great pictures of the great Jagras.
I'm starting to realize.
Let's take a look at what I got on my phone here. There we go. Here's a like objectively a better one.
Look darkish. Got like a very darkish green belly.
Yeah, and that's why I grabbed this Surfer Orc Flesh, which I may darken with a blue wash, because it does look kind of purpling as well. I might actually have to find a darker green, like this one here, which I think might be a little bit closer. And then spines, you said, are orange, maybe even just generally bone colored.
I think they're orange going to yellow. Have a look. Yeah, so around, oh, I see. So around his midriff, so base of tail to like where that mane is.
Yeah,
that's orange, and then the top of his head is the same color as his normal yellow scales.
Yeah, okay, I see. Along the crest of his tail too is he's got some orange in the skin.
Yeah.
This will be interesting because he does have stripes that kind of turn around on his legs as well, and his mouth and tongue are purple. There's gonna be some fun contrast. He's got mascara on as well.
Yeah. Let's show those eyes off.
Yeah. Bright yellow eyes. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna do starting off with bone on those spines. And we'll
I think normally I would agree with that, Shoji, but honestly, I feel like it's a disservice to not color these monsters in the color that they were in the game because they are so iconic.
They really are.
Like,
and that's kind of part of the whole shtick we have, right? We do.
Yeah.
We do.
Like
colors.
we do want to do the random colors at some point, but.
I mean, I might, yeah. If we had multiple copies of a monster, I might, hey, Rule Time, welcome.
You mean like if a certain Monster Hunter that just got kickstarted?
Oh, whatever.
that has multiple duplicates in it.
Yeah, that's the one we're talking about.
Hey, Rule Time, welcome.
Yeah,
they announced the Odogaron, which they didn't put into this core,
which sucked. We got. I was so mad.
The Odogaron is like my favorite monster. It's my favorite monster ever.
It's one of my favorite monster fights in that game too, because it's a lot of fun in his mechanics.
Because it makes you go like it makes you swear at it like for a good couple of attempts because it's so fast and different, right? And then you start to get used to it. Great fight. But they've just got to the point where they've unlocked the Ebony Odogaron, right? So I put a quid in because if I get the chance to get that one mini, like for like I I don't know, 18, 20 quid, I'm just gonna get it, and I'm just gonna say it's part of my main core set instead, and just do the normal colors for it. Hey JR,
Hey, welcome.
if I battle this monster, can I play the Chrono Trigger theme? You could do whatever you want. You might be seeing a little bit of difference between mine and Berg's. I think in transit, or whatever, it doesn't actually look broken. It just looks like it wasn't printed. The tip of the tail isn't there on mine, so
I mean,
I'm
it might
actually
have
going to work.
snapped off.
Huh?
Yours might have snapped off. I have a tip of the tail.
I was going to say it's either snapped off or it was a misprint, but it doesn't look like it's a snap. But what I'm going to work that into the mini. So I'm actually going to, because you can break off tails in Monster Hunter. So I'm actually just going to color that like a reddish,
I'm gonna get you
gory
some
color,
like
and
red
then
gory color on his tail. That's pretty cool.
yeah.
I
Pest the show
love
and to give
that.
you the hookup. And we pest the show enough. So, what do you think about this theory, by the way?
What's that?
About yellows. So yellows are like notoriously is a hard color to paint on minis because it dries out quickly, and it's quite thin, translucent. So you have to put quite a lot of layers on. So you have to be very careful with it. However, I saw someone. It came up in my recommendeds on YouTube. Somebody said, I haven't done it with this one, but somebody said if you want to do yellow and you want it to really pop, you want to undercoat with a light pink.
I've heard orange. Orange is
Orange?
typically what I use to undercoat, but I really like the new Duncan Rhodes paints enough that I honestly think that they're a good like look how smooth this yellow I've got going on here is.
I'll have to look on the stream. It's very. You don't need your streamer, by the way. I can barely see it.
Okay,
It's so
cool.
washed out.
Yeah, I don't know how to do anything about that. I'm sorry. It's
Yeah.
it's an issue with Discord and how it recognizes OBS as a source. Um,
Let's bring that up.
so you'll see it a few minutes behind anybody else. But so everybody in the
Okay.
chat, you can tell James how cool in a few seconds my yellow looks as I'm painting it on. Orange, or I've done another one where it was like a rust colored red. But that was for a. What are you doing? It's in my pocket. Where are you going?
Oh. Is that a rocket in your pocket?
You should have said something earlier. I would have given it to you.
I know you had it on your person.
Oh, hey! It's a friend of ours from Final Fantasy XIV, Oberon. Hello.
Oh, hey, Oberon. You have a great name.
Yeah. Hola Juan. We met up with Oberon here on our like day after our cruise. We went and saw a mermaid themed burlesque show.
I saw that. They put a thing up on. Yeah, it looked really interesting.
It was really cool. Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, god damn these cheap paintballs.
Yeah, I mean, who told you? Who warned you against those when you did that?
It wasn't a big deal. It's just the collar fell off
Yeah.
into my paint.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, they're fucking great, okay?
Yeah, I get that. I have some still too.
Oh, this is green, not yellow, James. Oh well.
Yeah. So that was the other thing I thought about doing as well with this model, because it does have some green tones to it. I thought about coating it in like in a lime toxic green first, but I think I thought against it and went with white because I really want the colors to be bright. Like the nice thing about Monster Hunter is that like not a lot of the colors are very muted. Unfortunately, because we were working on Bard Song for so long, we wanted to try to do like brighter colors for that, but like the model's aesthetics didn't really fit like the super bright classic like art styles that we were trying to paint because they were very modern and kind of dark fantasy
Yeah.
style. Um,
Yeah, because we were trying to do 80s like stuff, weren't we?
yeah, we did. We
Like very
just bold.
contrasting colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's just so many minis in that box, and they all were the same. That we, yeah. Anyway,
We're almost done, but
yeah. This game showed. I also got burnt out on painting minis from that box. I might go back and finish that Pit Lord one day. But honestly, I've never played the game, so I feel hard. It's hard to motivate.
yeah, I get you.
I will say that this game looks better with like after what we saw when we were playing it before. The visual style and the art design for it really do a lot to carry what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you guys like don't go now, but if you want like kind of idea on what's in the box for Monster Hunter World, then Bergs is an unboxing last week of the last time we streamed Monster Hunter.
A few weeks
Or
ago,
last time
yeah.
we streamed Japan, yeah, 3 weeks ago, I think.
It was 3 weeks ago. Same day, Madam Sai went and did a live stream for Parasite Eve. Basically finished the game too. I think she did. But she had a stream malfunction. Stay tuned at some point today as well. After we wrap up IP today, she will be playing Metal Gear Solid 2 for the first time.
Yeah.
But let's talk about something else I want to talk about. Our friend Oberon in chat reached out to me the other day at a miniature painting night and painted their first miniature.
Wow,
A
and
space
they
marine
chose you.
to talk to. Well, I mean, I wasn't there, right? Like they
Oh,
were just messaging
okay.
me, and they know what I do because they're friends of mine and May's from Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
But yeah, was at a free like mini painting, learn to mini paint night, and showed me their mini. Ended up buying a bunch of.
That's how it starts.
Yeah, they were like, what paints do I buy? And I told them what paints to buy, and then the next day they're like, I want to buy these ones from Amazon. Yeah, thank you. These are actually the same nails, but it is a new color. It's a color that y'all always see as blue, but is actually purple. For some reason. They're going to buy Army Painter. James, what do I think of Army Painter paints?
You don't like them?
I don't like them. Do you remember why I don't like them?
No.
Oh, that's okay. James doesn't pay attention to the things I say when I talk. It's all right.
I do, but I have a really bad memory. Like everyone knows that.
I'm teasing my friend. It's because I don't like that they're not consistent.
Oh yeah.
So when
they have like a couple of paints that are great.
Yeah, they do.
But it's like they don't have, as you say, the consistency there.
Got the big itch for painting now, Oberon says.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an easy hobby to fall into. It's fun. It's a nice way to kill time. It's a good mounting for second screen entertainment. Which is what I call like when you're doing something and watching something.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I've actually heard a content creator I enjoy use that term as part of like the presentation. I was like, oh, cool. Graham knows what he's putting out here. Loading Ready Run is a channel I enjoy. I recommend it for folks who like just fun, chill content creation. They're from Canada. They're very lovely and polite, funny, I will also say. But yeah, so I digressed away from the initial point, which was that I don't like Army Painter paints because I can if I take two of the colors from this paint here, which is from the Duncan Rhodes paint line, it's just something else I recommended to. Hey, it's Martin. Hello, Martin.
Hey, man.
Cheese isn't melted. Oh wait, that is burgers. We are painting very similar colors, if not the exact same color.
So true. Yeah.
I don't. That's primary sin of burgers for me is if the cheese isn't melty. If you hand me a burger and the cheese is not fused to the meat, like
You see, that I
basically a
will always
liquid.
remember. That I always remember because Bergs doesn't shut up about it. So,
Listen, James, who the fuck wants
like, you know,
to?
there's me who talks about aliens, right? And then at the same level, it's Burger talking about burgers.
It's
You know,
true. It's true. But here's the thing: is James recommends things to me like alien novels and stuff that I've read, but James doesn't read novels that I've recommended.
yeah, you've read one novel and that was Bug.
I've read 3 novels from the Aliens universe, James.
Okay, which ones were they?
I read Bug Hunt.
Yeah.
I read the Vasquez one you recommended.
You read Vasquez?
Yes.
You never told me you read Vasquez. We could have been talking about that.
I didn't want to talk
goodness.
about it, James.
Oh my god, you read Vasquez and you don't want to talk about it. So what's the point? Really?
I was,
you know?
I was honestly upset because
It's good though, right?
it's pretty good. I don't hate the Aliens novels. They're popcorn, which is fine.
They're
I
world building right now. That's the thing with the alien novels. They're doing a lot of world building.
because the franchise is hot right now.
It's simmering.
It's cooking.
Yeah, it's cooking. Let the Alien franchise cook. It's yeah, it's gonna be hot. We just that's what the novels and the comics are trying to set up at the moment. Anyway, I have read books you've recommended to me.
Never finished the books I recommended you.
No, I haven't.
It's because they're long.
Are we're gonna have this every week? Is
We're
this gonna be a
gonna
thing
we're
every
gonna.
week?
It's what we fight about. This is why we fight.
Is this the war you choose? Are these the lines you are choosing to draw in the sand?
I mean, if I keep talking about it, hopefully one day you'll finish it. You can start the second one, which is the good one.
For those that don't know, Bugs really wants me to finish Stormlight Archive. The first book.
I want you to finish the whole series.
Way of Kings, right? Is
Yeah,
the
the first one is Way of Kings. That said, I honestly also think you would enjoy his YA series called Skyward. The first one is called Skyward, and it's just a lot of fun. It's nowhere near as long. Each one is less than 20 hours. It's funny.
I like YA until it starts getting too YA. And does that sound weird?
No, I know exactly what you mean. When it starts to get real thirsty, but not like culminating the thirsty. It's just like leading into the thirst, and it's like, oh,
it's like, could you stop? Like, I'm just trying to read a book. I feel
it's like thirst edging.
It's like, you know, it's like how like thirsty players towards DMs, towards NPCs.
Yeah,
it's the same thing. Like, I am not going to act out your fantasy.
You should talk to May about Estinian sometime.
Estinian?
Estinian, yeah.
Estinian. Oh, Estinkian?
He's not a Stinkian. He's Estinian.
He's a big stinky boy. He's don't like it. Remember where I am in the story.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I said that because people have almost spoiled me. I realize he's done something that's good, but I don't know what it is. So he's still in the stinky books for me.
Into Charybdis, I think, is the name of the third one I read.
Into Charybdis.
Yeah.
Yes, the best alien book has been written.
Which is why I read it.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's funny, that book came out about the same time that what's it called came out, the game that we played for 1,000 hours.
Aliens Fireteam. No, you played it for about 20 hours.
I will tell you, I will look it up on Steam right the fuck now. I have at least 60 hours in that game.
All right. Okay.
Let me take a look here.
Go look that up. Prove me wrong.
I will. I can't wait to prove you wrong. This. I gotta tell you,
Burger is so competitive about everything. It's and I'm just like, no.
Damn, we were both wrong, James.
Hmm?
I have 45 hours in that game.
45, so somewhere in between.
Yeah, which is still a fair amount of time to play a game. I got really burnt out on trying to play because when we played it, there was just the same like 9 levels. And then we got real frustrated one day. And I was like, you know what? Because like we were having a really hard time finding games.
We were getting frustrated with the matchmaker,
Yeah.
like the matchmaker, and then they brought crossplay in, which made everything much better.
Yeah.
And now it's got like a nice concurrent 900 to 1,000 players,
That's pretty decent for a small indie game.
Yeah, like it's considering when it launched, I think it had just over 10,000 for a solid month. And normally there's a depreciation there, but normally, like with some games like that, you lose like 90% of the player base.
Yeah.
And you saw that like after the first few seasons, you saw like there were only, and I was putting up details on like Twitter and stuff.
I remember seeing those.
I was getting really sad because I saw the potential in the game, and it was only like 250 people playing. But then they announced the crossplay, and then they announced a bunch of new
Content,
maps, and then the DLC came out. So now, yeah, we got steady.
I put in a few
pace.
hours of the DLC. I think I finished the new campaign with you.
Yeah, I think. What's at the end of the campaign?
I think we beat the boss, didn't we?
If we beat a boss, then yeah, you did it.
So
Yeah,
I'm gonna actually talk about mini painting for a second because we do have somebody who's new. In the chat. So to Oberon, if you're still hanging out with us watching, maybe even painting along, I encourage people to paint while they're playing, while they're listening or watching, and talk about your process. You'll notice that I'm not being super careful about where my paint's going right now. Because most of this model is going to be some form of yellow, I'm kind of just filling in the blanks. I will often say, and James can vouch for me on this one, that if you can color in a coloring book, you can paint miniatures.
You say that a lot.
And that's kind of all it is. It is Dark Descent is really good. I played that at PAX East. And I can't wait for James to play it.
What's that?
I said Dark Descent was really good. I played it at PAX East, and I can't wait for James to play it.
So tomorrow, myself, Shoji, and Martin are going to try and get me 100% on Aliens Fireteam achievement.
Oh, fun.
Because I don't want to play Dark Descent until I've 100%ed Aliens Fireteam. This is like a thing that I've given myself.
Why do people impose like these weird challenges on themselves?
I don't know. I'm right here. Why don't you ask me that question?
James, why do you impose these weird challenges on yourself?
Because it's fun.
Valid. You know what? That's fair.
And you know what? I realized something about me today as well. Well, actually, it was a couple of days ago. I've been, for the last couple of weeks, I've been speaking to a therapist, which has been great. So I've been like talking. I mean, the first session was absolute trash, but the second one was much better.
Did they give you somebody else or something?
Hmm?
Did they give you a different therapist?
No. It's just I think because there was. I don't want to go into it, but anyway,
Sure.
because of the therapist stuff, I started to kind of introspect a bit more, and I realized that the more time I spend on a game and trying to get those achievements, it isn't a completionist thing for me, even though it is technically a completionist thing. It's because and we've discussed this before with books, that with myself is that I need to fully dive in and surround myself with something for it to sink into my head. Right? So if I have 100%ed something, or I fully completed a book 4 or 5 times, as Berger knows, because every time an Alien book comes out, I read that thing about 4 or 5 times in a week. It's pretty insane because I want to fully absorb all the information, and that's like the same with the games. The games that I really like, I want to complete, and I want 100% because I want to completely like immerse and surround myself with all that information, and hopefully most of it sticks. Especially for like franchises I love. Like just recently, I 100%ed Dragon Age Inquisition, which was really hard, but really, really fun. And then before that, it was Resident Evil Village, and then before that, it was Resident Evil 4, then Village, then I can't remember. But yeah, there's a bunch of games, and it will happen again with Baldur's Gate 3, and it will happen again with Dark Descent.
I'm very excited for Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
I felt really bad. I recommended that game to a friend of mine, and she had a really bad time.
Well, why?
Well,
What was?
well, so she's not a D&D fan.
Okay.
So she doesn't know. She didn't know a lot about D&D. She'd never played a game in the genre before. This is like, what game? If I wanted to play a game like this one, what would you recommend? I said Baldur's Gate 3. I think it's the best offering out there. Not realizing just how much inherent knowledge I have about the material, and how much that helps me to like enjoy. I'll say. I think that like the new player experience on an early access title is not the best, because the example that she had, the issue that she had is that she spent a lot of time creating her character, because it's got a really robust character creator.
Mhm.
She spent a lot of time making her arch nemesis, um, and then got into the game and then died because she clicked on the pool and the pool exploded. And the game didn't
Okay.
pause to say, "Stop! You're standing in fire. Go move away." She just died, and it says you're dead.
Yeah.
Um, Now, to be fair, understanding that like fire is bad, but when you don't know what's going on and the game doesn't prompt you in any capacity, you just start clicking stuff around, and there's no time to react because you're a level 1 D&D character, and if you're not like a fighter, you have maybe 8 health.
Did she
So
just stop playing it at that point?
she was very frustrated and gave up for the night. I don't know if she's played it again, but there's a lot.
That's
It's an overwhelming experience too. There's a lot going on in that game that the game doesn't teach you about. Now there is a tutorial page you have to navigate to. But I actually submitted some feedback report on the like officially through the official channels of like, hey, so here's how this experience with my friend went. Um, like maybe do something to help keep new players from feeling frustrated as soon as they start the game up, because like at that point she'd already been outside of the 2-hour refund window on Steam.
okay.
So she couldn't ask for a refund. She was very upset. Which and again, as much as I would have liked to been able to walk through and say, oh well, hey, like you could just do this. Like her reason for being upset isn't less valid, because I know how to play the game. I have a lot of inherent knowledge on how D&D works and how like CRPG genre games work. Um, so for me, it was easy to pick up and like realize what I was doing quite handily.
Yeah.
Make a repetitive task. You can see you just stand in a ball and you bounce a ball, and then see how many you can do in an hour, and then you try to break that record.
I mean, but that's not what it is for me. I
Right,
explained what it is for
I
me.
did.
Because
Your
I'm
reason
not.
is valid as well.
I'm not a competitive person really.
Not really. I mean, you do play
Like
a lot of League of
I
Legends.
I do, but it's mostly because I want to see myself improve rather than I'm not fighting somebody else. Like this was something I was talking to the therapist this week about, because she wasn't understanding something I was trying to put across. And it was because of the way I think about certain things is very strange sometimes. And it's because I'm often thinking about yeah, I actually I don't want to go into that. But yeah, it's like it's difficult because I don't do it because it's like it's not a competitive thing for me. It's because it's like it's a personal kind of goal.
Yeah, I get
Like, and
that.
if I get there and then yeah, I can, at the
It
same time it's it's aliens
it
and
makes your
it's
brain create the feel good chemicals.
yeah. And I never, there is a certain type of completionist who are complete buttholes, and will use that against you. And I'm not that type of person.
Yeah, 100%.
Um,
James is a cool
like
person.
I'm not gonna, there are people. I will, however, use it against those people.
Yeah, my mom had the
It's
same
like,
feelings about Christianity.
like if I remember, I can't remember when it was now. In fact, I've used it a lot, but I remember someone was being a little bit arsy on Twitter, like towards me about that typical like gamer versus gamer, you're a noob, etc. And I said, have you 100%ed Elden Ring? Have you?
Here's my 100% Elden Ring achievement.
You know,
Because James has 100% Elden Ring.
I have the receipts, and I'm not gonna throw it in your face unless you're being an asshole.
Um, but that said, James was the reason I got as far in Elden Ring as I did. That was one of my favorite gaming experiences of the past 2 years. Was
And we need to do it again sometime. I'm hoping that the DLC is going to make it a little bit more. Like when the DLC comes, it's actually going to add some quality of life stuff when it comes to multiplayer. Because I do want to dive in again with you.
yeah, I'm still in that same part I was stuck at.
Yeah, it's rough. That bit is rough.
Especially for the kind of build that I have. Like if I went back and respec, I could probably do it. But then I just have to go back and respec a second time because I would just go back to it. Because I think my build is fun. I'm just not really good at killing those Black Knife assassins.
Well, your build was built around. Well, we were building around each other, so I was basically the run in and
yeah, and I was like, I'm gonna sit here and set up my ritual cast for magic, and we're gonna one shot bosses. Like
yeah, exactly. Like that was the. But then
remember when we made what's his face our fucking bitch.
Which one? Because I mean, we made
Godric?
a lot of people up it.
Was it?
Oh
was
yeah,
Godric, yeah.
yeah.
And the ones I think it was the Star Beast as well. We manhandled, human handled
Star Beast.
both of them really, because there's the one that's up on the top of the mountain. I think we killed as well.
Yeah, the thing that I was really sad about is that we were the thing that night is that I said, right, I'm gonna give you a choice. We can either complete the game right now.
Yeah, or we'll go get the good ending.
Or we'll well no, because I don't think we technically could have got the good ending because a lot of that single player. Well, good ending is
objective.
Is yeah.
Subjective.
But yeah, but like with you were like, well, I have the fucking statue of Melania right here in front of me. I want to fight her, right? And I'm like, okay, then we go to the Everjail in the snowfields, and we're gonna get you to the Healing Tree, but unfortunately,
I just could not kill those assassins. I got close to one of them once, and I know they don't respawn, so I keep kind of like plug away at one of them.
Yeah.
But I also think I should go back and get different weapons because I think despite the fact that I like my weapons and I think they're fun, I don't think they're very effective.
I think it's valid to like respec just for particular boss fights as well. To be honest.
Well, maybe I will do that then. Go
like
respec Dex.
Yeah, just respec. Like go like do what I did. Just go full womp build. Build two like so you can two-handers, and just womp on them. Full womp. Assassins can't do shit if you got the HP and you have the womp.
Right.
They just can't get through the womp. It's too wompy.
It is too wompy. Too thick. Yo, I need eBay to stop asking me if I want to make an offer on Parasite Eve, and because the answer.
Do you want to make an offer on Parasite Eve?
It's like because I was looking at it yesterday because Sai was we recorded I don't know if that's secret.
It's on Patreon.
Okay, good. So if you're a Patreon follower, you can listen to the episode of the podcast that we recorded yesterday about Parasite Eve. But just looking at how expensive it was on Twitch, eBay, they're like, "Hey, you want to buy this thing?" And I'm like, "Nah."
Nah, I'm good, thanks. Oh, can I talk about something exciting that happened yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Mortal Deeds has a full-blown website now.
Do they? Oh, I've seen it. It's lovely.
Yeah, we have a website now with consent forms and invitations, and this music is way too aggressive for me, so be right back. There we go. So if you want to play D&D, go to mortaldeeds.com. We've got the fucking domain name because we're fucking kings. And go on there, and all the information is on there. You get your first game free. We've got a game happening next Saturday. It's really cool. It's going to have Mind Flayers in it, and you're all playing Githyanki superheroes. It's going to be awesome.
I only play when I can play Edrin.
Right.
That's my D&D character. It's my beautiful fish person. Glorious fish person.
Right, we'll wait until the next fish one shot, and then you can bring them.
Yeah, I mean, I did ruin your fish one shot.
You didn't ruin it. No such thing.
Oh, well, I was able to find a way around it.
Okay. Do you want me to say you ruined my D&D adventure?
No, no,
Is that what you want me to say?
no, it's not what I want to say. I wanted to say it. I wanted you to be like, you didn't ruin my D&D
You
adventure.
see what Burger's like?
This is what I do. This is what I do to James.
Jesus, he's such a shithead.
I'm
Jesus.
not a he.
I said you're such a
Oh, I
shithead.
thought you said he's such a shithead. I misheard. See, I'm being a shithead. That's me. I'm sorry. I misheard you. I apologize.
Good.
I am going to do something fun here with all of this yellow skin that I painted. Now, one of the things I like about and why I did a white primer on mine is because as yellow bleeds, which it will, it I'm just gonna hit mine with a wash, like this light tone. I'm gonna hit a small spot to see if it does what I want it to. Washing is it's a very thin sort of paint. It's like an ink. And this is fun for the newbies in chat who've maybe never painted something on minis before and might not know what a wash is. Washing is a good way to cheat at the process of mini painting. Mermaids are demons. Mermaids are not demons. They're fey creatures or creatures of the fae. I mean, I wouldn't even go ahead and say that they might not even be fey creatures.
It also depends on the folklore.
Yeah.
where they're from.
That is a nice yellow. Thank you, Sherry.
What is that yellow, by the way?
It is Duncan Rhodes paint for. It is called Dark Sun Yellow for the Duncan Rhodes paints.
Sun yellow.
I've made no secret of the fact that I'm a big fan of the Duncan Rhodes paints. I did back the Kickstarter in entirety the last time the one went live.
And you recommended all of his metallics to me, and I bought every single one.
And how good are those metallics, James?
The metallics are really good, though I do not like the bottles.
Yeah,
The bottles are weird.
you have to tighten them a lot, but they are pretty good in terms of like doing what you'd expect of. Yeah, see, this is what I wanted. So take a look and see how this wash is kind of just settling into these crevices and creating, like, bringing out the depth and the detail it's sculpted into this model. One of the things I've always appreciated about Steamforged games is that they do a good job creating like details that can really pop when you apply a little bit of wash. So I don't know if y'all can see it, but I did miss a lot of spots. I did get some thinning, but I'm also just I'm gonna do something fancy after this. I work in layers, so it's sort of like if anybody's done digital art, they can really help to really Photoshop is a good understanding of layers and like how you can understand your workflow a little better if you see the layers as they're going down. So I know that we're going to have some other colors on top of this, but I also want this yellow to be super bright and vibrant. I could go through and just, try to hand paint all of this detail, but what I am going to do is I'm going to put this wash on. I'm going to let this wash dry, and then dry brush with a brighter yellow on top of this. And what that's going to do is that's going to really give me that really bright, powerful yellow that we want this great Jagras to have. And again, James and I are doing the official color schemes on all of, if not most of these monsters, right?
Sorry, yeah, I was muted a sec. Yeah, I think so, because I don't think we've got any alternates, do we?
We don't. We didn't
Yeah.
get any of those with our all-in sets. We didn't get the Azure Rathalos or the Black Diablos. But
we might be able to go a little bit off the trail with the Puke or the Rathalos.
the ones that
maybe.
have like alternate colors in the game.
Yeah.
And we can do one of each. I think that would be fine. I would be happy to do that. If you wanted to do a different color Rathalos than me, I'd be cool with that. Because there's also Gold Rathian, or so there'd be Gold Rathian. Sorry.
Oh right, yeah.
Which is not a Rathalos. It's a different monster that looks the same.
Yeah. Still got a spiky tail.
It does
Actually, I think they
have.
both got a spiky tail,
They
but
do. He
I
just
think
doesn't. I don't think the Rathian spits fire like the Rathalos does.
It's a poison one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is poison. I think the Rathalos also has a poison tail though.
No.
his is all fire,
Okay.
and yeah, it does tail swipe you, and that's a pain in the butt. But oh, I am completely ruining this paintbrush. That's okay. I am actually running out of flash geets.
It's a good color.
Not good.
You just gotta get more of it.
Okay. But what I mean is, I might not have enough to do this many.
Oh no!
So I might have to. I do have marigold, which I can do something with, maybe. I got some new brushes again, by the way.
Did you?
I also got a. Oh, you'll be proud of me. Look what I got.
What did I get? What'd you get? What am I proud of you for?
Look at that.
Look at that dry brush. That's gorgeous.
That's an artist opus wine.
Oh boy, you spent a lot of money on a brush.
I spent £12 on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I should have got a bigger one though.
It's a bit small. That's what she said, but yeah.
I needed a good dry brush because every single dry brush I get gets
Broken because they're all cheap. Like I tried saving a Citadel dry brush,
Mm.
and I just could not save it.
No, you can't.
is-
There's the whole point of Citadel stuff, and this is if you take one thing away from the stream, if you're still watching Oberon, if you take one thing away from everything we do here is don't buy Citadel products unless it's the paint.
Yeah.
Their stuff is
I'll
not
ju-
designed to last. Their stuff is not designed to be easily repaired or replenished.
in stark contrast, by the way. Even though we were saying like their paints weren't great earlier on, Army Painter brushes are okay,
Yeah,
and they're actually really cheap as well.
And what brushes did I recommend you buy, Oberon? Again, if you're still watching, I did recommend.
Nice.
I did recommend he buy the Army Painter brushes. They're good brushes to start off with. I don't recommend. So this brush here that I'm using is a Winsor and Newton Series 7 number 2 size brush. It is quite a good brush. I don't recommend people who are starting out in the hobby spend the almost $20 on a brush like this one cost.
Get a synthetic brush set.
Yeah.
Get a synthetic one, and then just learn how to use brush control. Learn how to brush with and looking after your brushes. Synthetics and sable and like real hair brushes, they have different ways of maintaining them, but I think you learn the basics by getting a
Right. You're gonna bang. You
synthetic.
want to bang up a cheap brush. Like cut your teeth on cheap brushes, so that way, when you are feeling like God, I hate painting with these brushes, you'll go and you'll buy a nicer one, and you'll really have a nice
Yeah.
appreciation for the differences in how it does what it does, and how it helps you as a painter, paint effectively. I like a natural hair brush when I'm painting larger stuff, like what I'm doing now. I'm using a natural hair brush. When I also will say I think that there are some stuff that synthetic hair brushes are good for. If I'm painting edge highlights or fine details, I like a synthetic brush because they give you the most absolute control over what's on the brush. They don't really absorb a lot of paint, so they're really great for dry brushing as well, and edge highlighting.
See these two in chat. It's not the size of the brush, Jay, it's how you use it. Immediately after Iggy said it's not the size, it's how he used it.
They are sharing the same brain cell today.
Sharing that brain cell. We love to see it.
I'm gonna take a look. What colors is the mane the same yellow as the rest of the body, or is it slightly different?
The mane is it looks like to be like a dawn yellowish, maybe slightly brighter, like more saturated yellow. But in some of these, the tips go into an orange, so it blends.
Okay.
But yeah, base would be like a lighter yellow.
Okay. Let's see what we got.
Yeah, Flash Geets is pretty transparent, so I'm probably going to have to put 2 to 3 coats on this, and I'm going to try and make the Flash Geets last as long as possible. Because Berg's yellow that they've used is amazing, but you can see that on mine. If you can see, like, there's a lot of transparency there. It's also because I've undercoated mine in a much darker color because I don't have any light color primers. So that's like I've basically done a big doo-doo. Yeah, so as you can see, actually you can see on the beard here, I've actually put 1 coat on that, and you can barely see the yellow there. You can just see the gray.
But
once I put
leave James in charge for a second and go grab my beverage. I forgot it over there.
Okay. But if you put another couple coats on, there's a meme that Bugs made me aware of, which is 2 thin coats, which is again from Duncan Rhodes. Always you will always want to thin your coat with water, not too much, not so it's runny, but so it runs off the brush well. You don't want it to be thick, so it leaves texture. So, like for instance, I'll do something here. So, I've got a lot of paint on the end of this brush here. Can you see that? Not really. Yeah, I've got a lot of paint on the end of this. Can you see that? There's like a blob on the end of this brush, right? If I put that onto the mini, it's going to dry and then add extra texture. We don't want to do that because the mini already has a bunch of texture that Steamforged games have already put on there. So yeah, you want to thin that down so it doesn't have that lumpiness texture to it. So it just fills the belly, which is the middle of the brush, and it means that it will keep filling the tip of the brush so you can keep brushing like without taking that texture away that's already on the brush. Also one thing I've learned, you can actually see it on the base here. You see all that texturing because of how I've actually primed this. Like that's because of that's because I didn't thin down my primer enough, though normally that's not a thing, but it's because it's a flat surface, it makes it more noticeable. But if it's a textured surface like this, it's not as obvious. One thing I learned, final tip from me before I continue painting, is never paint brush with the tip. You always paint with the side tip of the brush. So you don't paint like this, like a pen. You paint like this, like onto any surface if you can. You do that as much as possible because you get way more control over it. It means that you're also not splaying the tip of your brushes, and that's really important for synthetic brushes because the bristles, like they can deform really easily. With sable brushes, you can reform them in a way by getting some brush renovator. I got it somewhere around here. It was actually Sherry who made me aware of it. Oh yeah, this is stuff. Brush cleaner. You can't actually see it properly, but yeah, this stuff though is backwards. But it's called the Masses Brush Cleaner and Preserver. This stuff is really good for real hair brushes. But synthetics, as soon as your synthetics start getting a hook in their tip and they start becoming warped, then it's time to get another brush. Pretty much. Oh, I almost went in there with the big dollop of paint on there. I don't want to do that. Let me change this music. This music's way too angry for me. Hang on. Let's put it on medieval lo-fi beats. There we go. Same braids. We're not connected. No, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. So you're safe. Yeah, and you see, like, my bloody dry palette's a mess right now. But you see, like, when the paint is really coming off that paintbrush quite well there. That's the kind of consistency you want to go for. If it's transparent, that's okay because you can just go over it again with another coat. So it's how exactly, yeah, you got it. All right, so right now I'm just looking. I'm trying to remember where I.
Hello.
Hello, welcome.
Thank you.
Just giving people a crash course in brush maintenance and how to brush with a paintbrush. Because that's one thing that's really hard to kind of teach people in video is brush control.
Yeah. So you kind of notice
Oh.
how I'm gonna take over for a moment.
Yeah.
So notice how James is always pulling down. Oh, like you never want to press with your brushes. Pull
Yeah.
down, pull away from the mini towards yourself. The opposite of when you're cutting.
Yeah, I was saying, I actually pointed out, like, you never want to be, unless you're stippling or doing something that needs that, you don't want to be stabbing. Or, like, you don't want to be painting by stabbing, ever. Because you'll ruin your brushes if you do that. There are actually brushes that are specifically made for that. Like dry brushes, for instance, can be really good for stippling.
Yeah.
They tend to have softer bristles as well. So it's much easier to kind of work around them and work with them to get them into their form again. But yeah, I was saying to them also that basically if a synthetic brush is gone, it starts getting hook tip, and
Yeah.
it's basically time to get a new brush.
For real, and that's very correct. Once a brush goes, it goes, and there's not a whole lot, like especially with synthetic brushes. Natural hair brushes, you can usually pull them out and pull them together.
Yeah, I brought out that that brush preserver that I got recently, which has helped me recover a very old Citadel brush, back to its former glory. Yeah, or use old ones. Yeah, that's another good point. According to the notification I just got from Burger King, it is National Hamburger Day. What?
Yeah,
Wait, Iggy, where are you located? UK or?
I'm actually
And I
just
feel like
texting May if we can have PK.
I was if it's National Hamburger Day here, then I feel like I need to get hamburger today. That seems like a pretty good rule to.
Do you even have Burger Kings?
We do, yeah. I have one just over the road from me.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
Oh.
actually out of all the fast foods, Burger King is the best.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. It's my favorite anyway.
It's very
se-
expensive, but I think it's worth it.
Second favorite is Wendy's.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is there like a popular fast food place that you haven't tasted?
There's ones I haven't had in a very long time.
Okay.
I've never had Bojangles, which is a famous one. But that's chicken.
Okay. You're in the US, okay. Then I don't need to spend money on a hamburger. So crap brought some spruce clippers from Mohan the other day and the blades over there. Oh yeah. I bought I bought some third party clippers for me. I also just have, like, in my tool set I have something that's very similar to, like, the stuff that you normally use, crimpers. Far superior, yeah. Yeah, because they're built in bulk, aren't they? And there's not much quality assurance done. Have you ever had a Whataburger, Bergs?
I have had Whataburger. I lived in Texas.
Okay. What does that scale?
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Shoji and Netro, as Texans, showed me a video of two Brits who visited Texas and had a Whataburger, and the way they sounded, it sounded like it was the second coming of Christ in the form of a burger.
I don't think it's that good. If I'm talking like a burger that made me feel that way, it'd be Culver's, of which there's not that many in Texas. That's a Midwestern chain that I enjoy quite a bit.
Oh, my chat keeps crashing on YouTube. It's annoying. We had a Popeyes and it closed down.
Oh, I do like Popeyes. That's my go-to chicken. I'm still waiting for this stuff to calm down. Also,
I'm
thanks to Oberon who actually who sent me a picture on Discord of a Great Jagras figurine. It's swallowing something and has some pretty good angles.
oh nice.
So
References are good.
yeah.
Definitely gonna have a third fucking coat. Are you eating at the moment?
No, I'm actually looking for a contrast paint in my contrast paint box.
We don't have In-N-Out or Waffle House. I think we can find Culver's in Idaho.
In-N-Out's pretty good. I don't. Again, I don't. God, this is the thing. Is like I don't go to fast food for the purpose of like the second coming of Jesus. I go because people tell me it's good fast food.
And it's meant to be fast food, right?
Right.
So it's like you kind of mark off some merits or add some merits because it's meant to be fast food. It's not meant to be gourmet.
Right. I am gonna use a contrast paint to paint the main.
Cool. What are you using?
Iron
Do you know?
Jaws yellow. We're gonna see how that
Ooh.
works out for me. It's just a slightly different shade.
I was gonna wash in Yandon and see how that settled, and then I think the Brits who come here swearing all food is the second coming of Jesus, so they experience his seasoning for the first time.
Snap!
So to fight back against that, I don't think it is. I think it's the amount of sugar you put in your food, because we don't have as much sugar in our food over here. So sugar is amazing. So like if you put sugar in anything, it makes it instantly better.
Mm-hmm.
Like so, yeah. So we have good food over here. It's just also you also got to take into account the just the new taste feel. Like
Yeah,
you know, I
yeah.
had that it's like, you know, it's like the honeymoon. Your tongue's going through the honeymoon period. Like that Hungrilla burger I had, it was amazing. That first taste I had, the second it was still good, but I want another burger now. Right, because my tongue's got used to that taste, and now I want cheese, and I want another patty in there, and I want another like sauce in there because I want to taste it. It's definitely like there's definitely a honeymoon thing about it as well. Because I feel like if you guys came over here and you tasted our fast food, like if you came to a Burger King, you'd probably have like one of their barbecue beefs, right? And you would probably go, "Wow, this is different. This is interesting. This is, you know," but it wouldn't, you know, you would probably have a couple more. And you're like, "Okay, this is actually kind of, you know,
It's mid. It's mid tier.
yeah."
I saw a funny meme the other day. It's like Demon Slayer got carried on its animation style alone, even though its storyline is mid. And I was like, "Fuck, that's accurate though."
Yeah, so true. Holy shit. It's so good to look at though.
Yeah,
oh
it
my
is
God.
such a pretty. Yeah, see, look at this. This is actually working out really well. Look, I'm gonna switch back. I'm gonna take control.
Yeah. Take control.
Assuming direct control. That's a reference to a video game James has played.
It is. The Mass of Effects.
Which one?
Assuming control, that would be 2.
Yeah. I think it also happens in 3.
I think it happens all the time in 3. But
Yeah.
the reason why it's so iconic for 2 is because I think it's only said once.
Yeah, assuming direct. It's like at the end of the game too. Mm-hmm.
We don't have freaking sausage rolls and savory pies, and that's garbage.
You do. You just have to go to places that are like they just don't have them at fast food restaurants.
Yeah, like it's over here. We have so many bakeries. It's insane.
And it's because like you just need an oven. An oven and a local like flour shop. We can go buy flour, and it's like cool. Yeah, you have a sourdough starter that your great granddad started, and so it's like half the work done right there.
I tell you what, has there ever been? I just had this sudden thought. Has there ever been something you've got from a place and nowhere else has hit that food.
Yep.
Like
100%.
nobody really. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a sandwich I had in Peru at this place
Yeah.
called La Lucha Sangucheria. It's a chain. It's like Peruvian fast food, and it is the best like chopped steak sandwich I've ever had. Oh my god, it's so good.
Damn.
And I live in Philadelphia. Like chopped steak sandwich is our thing.
This is what you do.
It's what we do. The Philly cheesesteak is internationally known.
It's sandwiches and sports.
That's what you're known for.
That's all we have. We have sandwiches. We also have a tabletop convention.
Okay, yeah, a big one. Pretty good one.
Yeah.
So I hear anyway.
So yeah, it's not like it's okay. I mean, I'm not biased or anything about how cool PAX Unplugged is. I'm not biased at all. Not even a little bit.
No, not even.
Not even slightly biased about it.
So the reason I bring that up about the food, by the way, is because when I was about 14, 15, and I lived in a different place to where I am now, but I was down south in England. Yeah, there was this baker's that opened up. There was a family-owned baker's, and they sold these cookies there, and they were like the size of dinner plates, huge fucking things.
Yo,
Right?
I want one of those now. Bye,
And they were
Martin.
like, and they were like, see you later, mine. And they're like £1.80 as well, like cheap as anything. And they were gorgeous, like soft and chewy, and like I used to have one for lunch. They were so big, you know. But nowhere else, like I've got close with my cookies that I bake, but nowhere else has really hit those cookies for me. Like, and I moved from that place, and I actually asked a family member that still lives down there a few years ago if that bakers are still there, and they said no, it closed down quite a few years ago.
Probably didn't make it past COVID.
Yeah,
COVID stole a lot of stuff from us, everybody.
it did. It stole my cookies.
I bet my Wookiee.
Also, another one was steak fillet. There was a place just outside a village I used to live in called the Red Lion. I think I've spoken about this before, but just so everybody knows, by the way, you're not going to find this place because the Red Lion is the most named pub in the UK.
The Red Lion?
The Red Lion, yeah.
Why? Why is that the most popular name for a pub?
Probably because of the dragon. I don't know.
Oh, I thought, so you're from Wales.
No. Wales is part of England. You know that.
It's just. You're right. It's just West England.
It's just West England.
There's a show on Netflix that we have here called Documentary Now. I really want Lou to watch the episode that we watched the other day, but it's like it's a take on the When We Were Kings boxing documentary about Muhammad Ali and George Foreman fighting. And the funniest thing to me about this show is it takes place in a rural town of Wales, a name I can't pronounce, but the game is called Mice, and it's just a game about Welshmen throwing rocks at each other. And it's so
That's the most Welsh thing I've ever heard.
It's so seriously commentated, and they got like famous British actors to be it. Like the guy who played Maester Pycelle. Is part of not Maester Pycelle, the guy who played the Sparrow. I don't know if you watched the end of Game of Thrones. Yeah. He was the head priest guy was in it.
I know you're on about.
Yeah. As like it's like him, and then there's another famous British actor who are like dueling commentators, and like they're talking. It was like, oh, I called this the. He said, I looked at him and I said, this isn't. He's not reading a poem. He's reading a eulogy. And I looked at him and it flashes the guy. And at that point, I looked at him and said, God, will you just shut up? And it flashes back to the first guy. He's like, yeah, of course it hurt my feelings. Nobody else gets snapped at. Oh my goodness.
It's like almost Peep Show-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another one. The first episode of the season has Alexander Skarsgård playing as
fantastic.
A German filmmaker who's filming a documentary about this like rural area of Siberia. At the same time, in order to get the funding for his documentary, he also had to film a pilot for an 80s sitcom show on scene. It's hilarious. Bachelor Dad.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good point, Sherry. Yeah, the lion is like our national
Oh.
animal, isn't it? Even though we don't have lions, yeah.
I mean,
Because we stole them
you was
all.
gonna say you stole them all.
Yeah.
You used to have
Um,
like cougars, right? We still have
still have-
cougars. What's up?
Oh, up top.
Thank you.
We used to have wolves. We don't have wolves anymore.
Really? What
like-
happened to all the British wolves?
Fucking left. I mean, I would. No, I don't know.
Hunted.
Yeah, I
Hunted nigh into extinction, I would guess.
I would say so because like our, we're not small, we're not big, but we're not small either, but we're in a fucking island, There's not much to do here. Right, so I imagine people were
Hunt
like, oh,
wolves.
there's a wolf. Plus we have like everybody, if you're not talking about the king and queen and fucking tea, we have really good countrysides.
Your
And
close
we-
personal
we
friend,
have-
the queen.
Yeah. Yeah, and we have really good oh god, what's it called when people livestock? Like, we have fields and fields and fields of livestock. So it makes sense that people would want to kill all the wolves because they'd be killing all the livestock. Yeah, we used to have bears as well. We used to have elk.
Damn. Sounds like England used to be a cool place.
It used to be really cool.
All those
And now
fucking English people
fucking
ruined it.
fucking English.
Just like they ruined that whole planet with their industrial revolution.
Oh, okay. I mean, we started the Industrial Revolution, but I mean,
Yeah, it all went downhill once you couldn't put kids in the mines anymore.
oh, they're trying to now in the U.S.
Oh yeah, they are. Yes, sir. I'm aware of that.
Holy shit!
I think I saw one where it was like a 12-year-old working at a McDonald's.
Yeah. Crazy.
So we're about to see some Mijagic happen.
By the way, I'm not. That's not me saying that we don't do it here as well. By the way, literally when I was about 18, 19, I was sorry. Didn't mean to say that. I meant to say 12, 13 because it was in 98, 99. Right. It was. I was conscripted to work in a restaurant.
Well, yeah.
And I was a waiter at this place. Like, I wasn't being paid. I was just getting orders and taking plates out, hot plates. 12, 13-year-old.
Was it a family restaurant or something?
It was a Turkish one.
You were just conscripted. They were like, "Hey, boy."
It's because I used to go there. It used to be my place I went to after college and school. And, I knew the guy's son. And he was taking on the business slowly. He was basically, his dad was trying to teach him,
Yeah.
basically. His dad was very old. And, yeah, so it became this thing where I was just, basically after school, I would go there to work for like 3-4 hours.
Did you got no compensation at all?
Oh, no.
That's fucked.
Yeah. Shit was fucked. Shit still is fucked. Everything's fucked.
Yeah, everything is fucked. So take a look. So we can see the difference I have on this side here where I did some dry brushing of the yellow skin of this great Jagras. And then switch to the other side where you say I haven't done any of that yet. Look at the huge difference that happens. Look at that. And then over here. It's a
Sort of see it on the
Yeah.
screen.
It's a subtle thing. England is full of royal furries. You're not allowed to comment on it though.
Yeah, we can't say you can't say that.
Yeah, it's part of it's a royal secret, much like the fact
So-
that they're werewolves.
It's also we got the king's birthday coming up soon.
Oh
so
boy!
I can't wait for us to spend £100 million on that as well.
He deserves it.
Fuck that man child.
He needs it.
Yeah.
He deserves everything coming to him.
Oh man. Jesus. Did you see the fucking it made me so mad. Did you see the his first photo as king with his coronation outfit on and Camilla and everything. Did you see that?
Yeah, I don't like Camilla. I watched The
Oh
Crown.
my god! Like
So
you
ostentatious.
saw like. Hey, so the Queen, I don't like the royal family, right? But the Queen, I have held at a higher regard to the royal family as a whole to a certain point. Her coronation pictures were like class.
Yeah.
Like she was like in her late 20s. Like she was. They were so good. The pictures, she looked like she exuded opulence and just like royalty and like there's a lot of the royalists, when they think of the royal family, it's almost deific the way they look up at them, right? But in this photo, she looked like that. I could understand why so many people like were thinking that way.
Magna Carta. Magna Carta. Magna Carta.
But then you fucking look at Prince Charles and Camilla.
And they just look frumpy.
They just look dumb. Like, I don't know who they hired to photograph them, but maybe the photographs, didn't matter who they fucking took. They just still would have been bad, but they look awful. So bad. And there's still people going, oh yeah, oh new king, long live the fuck off.
Long live this fucker, for some reason.
Right. And next we're going to have Will, and I used to have great respect for Will, but
yeah, he drank the Kool-Aid too much. He was Nana's favorite.
And he's like, I don't normally say this kind of stuff because I feel like it's kind of toxic, but I do feel his mum would be disappointed.
Absolutely.
Just with the way, Diana was. I held Diana to the highest degree. Like every time I saw her on screen, she was a joy to look at. She did her best around the world and tried to put her stamp on everything.
There's that one line in The Crown I think is really poignant, where she's like, she just set back nationalism in Australia by like years by being so like. There should people. Yeah, there could be both.
Yeah,
werewolves is a Doctor Who reference. Where Queen Victoria was infected by werewolves. She was not amused.
Oh, I almost dipped my paintbrush in my hot chocolate.
That would have been awkward for you.
That would have been really... Yeah. Another top tip, by the way, don't do that. But if you do, sit-down paints aren't toxic. So
most paints aren't toxic. Most mini paints, I should say. Of any of them, the worst one is probably yellow, because yellow often uses cadmium, which is slightly radioactive material.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just slightly. Just not super radioactive. It's not like as radioactive as that song might imply. Yeah. But it is just a little active.
So, could imagine what that band was called for a second.
I don't remember what that band was called. I'm sorry.
No. Just imagine.
Was it Imagine Dragons?
I saw a really funny meme.
Was it John Lennon?
No, it was nothing to do with that. It was like that old kind of there's like questions that still need answers, but they can kind of be half answered. But there's like one question, maybe half rhetorical questions, and this one question was, how come every civilization, the world around, has illustrations and stories about dragons, like even though they've never met each other?
You found fucking dinosaur bones.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. But so I think that too, right? And then people, because they existed, right? But someone to put in the fucking, like, this guy's going through a full like rundown. Like he goes through that, and he goes through like Komodo dragons, etc., lizards, big lizards. They have been
crocodiles,
around, right, for a long time, and yeah, and then someone in the comment section just went, "This isn't how I imagine my dragons." I don't know why it cracked me up so much. It's just a dumb joke. It's not how I imagine my dragons.
That's a good band name. Somebody should make a band name, Imagine Dragons.
Yeah, I think someone replied with that in the comments.
Sounds like
That's a good band name. You take it.
That someone was not me. I'm not that clever, and I'm not,
Also, you don't use TikTok.
I don't use TikTok. TikTok is bad.
In fact, Burger goes as far to not use TikTok. Just doesn't like it. Just ignores my TikTok videos I send them.
I do watch some of them. I can't watch them on my phone though, because it makes you try to log into TikTok if you try to watch them on your phone.
Yeah,
And I don't have a TikTok account, so I watch them when I get to my PC, James. I do watch your TikTok videos.
you're being spied on from everywhere.
I know. The last thing I want to do is try to get programmed by a Chinese algorithm.
Jesus, you realize how you sound right now?
What's that? Like a correct human being?
You're being spied on from more places than just TikTok.
Yeah, I've got a phone.
Surveillance device in the palm of your hand. I put way too much fucking water in this wet palette.
Yeah.
It's just all yellow right now.
All right, we're gonna do a second bright. Yeah, we're gonna do a different thing. This is gonna be awesome. Y'all gonna see this and go, God dang, Burger, why are you so cool?
Oh god dang, Burger, why are you so cool?
It's a good question, James. I'm trying to figure it out myself. I wish I felt cool sometimes.
Same, especially right now because it's quite hot in the UK at the moment.
Is it just that it's you? Are you quite hot,
Oh, it
James?
is. I am not hot at all.
Disagree.
Antithesis.
You are definitely not the antithesis of being hot. That would be
Definitely
Camilla.
Okay, I'll give you that. I do have more attractive traits than Camilla, but I think that purely comes from my personality.
That's true. That's true. She
'Cause
she doesn't even have that.
is like her personality is like a moldy cheese.
And not the good kind of moldy. It's not like a blue
No.
cheese. It's like we're talking shit cheese.
Yeah, this cheese is a cheese you can smell before you even enter the door. Like, it's a poopy. There is a radius, there is a smell radius of cheese it becomes tolerable, and Camilla is not tolerable.
So we're doing another cool thing here. I have a second yellow that's like a brighter. This is Lilith yellow. As you can see, it's very pastel. It's almost white. We're doing another. This is going to be a super light dry brush across this to kind of. I want the skin to have like a drier tone, and I think adding this extra yellow will kind of give me that like pasty dry, like reptilian style skin I'm hoping for. So
Okay.
that's what we're doing here.
Sounds good.
You sound good.
I should sound fucking good, Burger. Do you know why?
Why? Because you have
I spent a lot of money on this
On
mic and
audio
this
equipment.
audio interface. It should fucking sound good.
I think you sound wonderful all the time, James. I love you.
Thank you. You too. That's a conclusion to First Aid Spray Season 1. You won't get to see the next one until next season, which is, wow. Oh, wow. It's next weekend. Crazy.
What's that?
The next season of Itchy Painting.
Oh shit. Are we done? Is this it? Is this the end of season 1?
Yeah, I was going to say, because that was it felt like a cliffhanger. I don't know. That's why I said it.
Well, we are gonna. I mean, I imagine we would take a break in August, because I want to play Baldur's Gate in co-op.
Yeah, we can do that. We can definitely do that. I should probably speak to you and say about this, but I will be away in about a week. No, 2 weeks
Okay, that's
for a
fine.
full weekend.
No way. You going to visit friends or family? The Valks
Convention
with Sherry.
with Sherry.
I remember you going to a convention with Sherry. Hooray!
Sherry. Guess what? I'll have a T-shirt on, a Mortal Deeds T-shirt, and I've got business cards and everything.
Look at you, Mr. Fancy Pansy.
I know.
I'm so proud of you.
Yesterday I was very proud of myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I was also very proud of Martin and also Netro, who have helped a ton with getting the website and the app going. Because basically I had the ideas, but I had no idea how to implement any of it.
Yeah, it's always good to have somebody who knows how to do things that you don't handy.
Yeah. So
Um,
Martin came in and I was like, hey, I know how to do this stuff. And I was like, holy shit.
I may I talking about food earlier. I may call the stream a little early today
Okay.
because I asked me to grab food on the way home.
Yeah. Oof.
Because
Yeah.
it is National Burger Day.
Right.
So if when she gets home, I will probably call the stream and go have lunch. I'm also, I think this is a pretty good stopping point for this particular mini because the next steps are going to be working on the belly, and then probably do the belly and the stripes. And I don't want to start one of those without being able to finish it. And we only do in the end we still only have about a half an hour left in the show at max, and I don't want to start a new segment of the mini. Um,
Okay. Yeah.
and so, what do y'all think of my great Jagras skin? Does it look dusty and dry like a musty lizard should? I say
It looks,
musty.
It looks great.
You look great, James. I like
It
yours a lot.
looks. It looks. I've barely done anything. What I like about yours is that it looks leathery, and
Yeah,
that's
that's what I
what
was
you
hoping
want.
for. Yeah.
Because the Jagras is super leathery.
Yeah, he looks like an iguana. That's what I was going for.
Yeah.
Like rough iguana skin.
How come they
Um,
got such cool names for their paints? I get threads like Liberty Gold, Golden Stargazer, Applesauce, and Straw. I don't know. But for some reason, it's like League of Legends champions. For some reason, the paint names stick in your head
for what?
for any of the weird paint names.
Oh, for
Things.
Citadel, yeah. It's usually so that they can copyright whatever the name is.
Hey, Fire Button!
Hi, Mem. I will stop the stream here in a moment and we can have lunch. Mem is here.
Nom 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 nom.
Anyway, here is my great Jagras. I hope you enjoy it. Oh, Mem ate in the car apparently.
Okay.
Doesn't it look great? I'm happy about it. This is the first mini I painted in a few weeks. About more than a few weeks, almost a month at this point. I took a break, went on vacation, we did the unboxing, and now we're doing this. I'm actually really excited about this project, and can't wait to do more of it. I will post pictures of my progress on the doodad. I'm gonna switch. It is I, Steve. How have we folks have fun? We have.
We argued, we painted, we spoke about food. Just a very typical Itchy Painty, to be honest.
We laughed, we cried.
I took some lines.
We talked about the Red Lion.
We bitched about our king.
We bitched about Camilla. What a miserable shrew she is.
I'm glad we don't have any royalists in chat. Because they get very upset when you talk about their...
About their fun things.
Yeah. It's almost like, it's like Swifties, like Taylor Swift fans.
Yeah. My
Like
friend
they
Amy.
just put them on a pedestal and...
My friend Amy is a Tay-Tay fan.
So I do like.
Talk about aliens? Yeah, you're right. We did also talk about aliens.
I do like Tay-Tay to a certain point, but I think her fan base is fanatical to a tremendous fault.
Yeah,
It's like pretty wild.
it really is. All right, I'm gonna go eat my food because I'm starving.
Okay.
I love you all. Thank you for joining us for Itchy Painty today. Tune in next week. It's the same bat time, the same painty time, the same Itchy channel. Tune in. Yeah, Nail Polish Worship Cult. Thank you, Steve. Sniffing men's farts.
I would sniff my farts.
I would.
Bugs.
I would.
Yeah.
James farts only. That's a fact. Literally only James's farts. Nobody else's. Tune in later today. I don't know when she's doing it, but at some point today, Sai, CEO of First Dates Ray, will be doing Metal Gear Solid. Depending on when she does that, I may or may not be participating. So watch this space. Give us a follow on the YouTubes. You'll be the first to know when we go live. You can join us for future Painty sessions. And feel free to message me or reach out on the Itchy Painty Discord server server section of the First Aid Spray Discord.
Yeah, don't message me.
Don't
I don't
message
wanna talk to
James.
you.
James doesn't want to talk to you about painting. If you want to talk about aliens, though, that's when you message James. So you can follow us on Patreon for exclusive content. The new episode of the Pile of Shame went up yesterday. Or no, was it Pile of Shame for Parasite Eve, or was it just I hadn't played it yet?
Oh, I don't
No,
know.
you know what? It was a bonus episode from a poll.
Yeah.
Bonus poll Parasite Eve episode. That would be Steve, Cy, and I talked about Parasite Eve, the 1999 Square Enix game that bridged the gap between Final Fantasy 7 and 8. Spoiler alerts. You'll have to watch it if you want to see what we thought of the game. So do that.
Burger, your burger's gonna get cold.
My burger's gonna get cold. All right. I love you. I love you. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.